Speaking English fluently does not have to be as hard as you might think. By the end of this video, you'll have my top 3 ways to get better at fluently speaking English and improving your pronunciation in English. In working with thousands of non-native English speakers for the last 14 years, I've noticed that students think that speaking fast means speaking fluently. Now, this is not correct, okay? Sounding fluent is not about speaking faster. In fact, speaking faster makes you sound less fluent because you'll be making a lot more mistakes. So in my study groups that I run through my program, Pronunciation Pro, I meet with my students and we practice pronunciation. We practice all these rules and these skills that they're learning within my program. And the thing that I'm always coming back to is slowing down, okay? Once they can really learn how to slow their speech down, then everything kind of comes together. So it's this foundation that you're building so that when you learn the rules of the sounds and the rhythm of English, you can kind of build on top of that. But it has to start with slowing down. This allows your brain time to recall words and ideas. It helps your mouth get in position so that your pronunciation will improve and you'll sound much more fluent as you slow down. The trick, I understand, is that speaking fast in your native language is common. It's something that you probably do and you don't really think of. And maybe it's part of your native language. It's just a faster sounding language. But in English, we have to learn how to slow down. That is going to make the biggest difference for you, okay? Not that you always have to speak slowly. We don't want to keep you at this slow pace forever. But as we're really retraining the way that you speak English, you have to start by slowing down and getting your mouth into a very deliberate positions. Okay, next, focus on linking. Okay, linking is connecting word to word. So you do not want to sound choppy. We don't want to break our words apart. We want to fluidly connect word to word. So that works by connecting the ending sound of one word to the beginning sound of the next. We connect the sounds of each word to the other. When you can flow from word to word, it creates what we feel like is fluency. But when we're choppy and we don't fluidly connect, it really creates this like disfluency sound in your American English. Okay, so linking, connecting word to word. So it might be consonant to consonant or vowel to vowel or vowel to consonant. But those connections need to be fluid and easy. So as you're practicing on your own, I want you really to just take one paragraph, read it out loud. If it's not as fluid as you want it to be, or you feel like it's not sounding as fluent as you want, do it again and again and again, and go one phrase at a time, and make sure you're connecting one word to the next. Keep that voice on in between. So da 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 instead of da 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 da. We don't want that rhythm. We need da 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 da. So the third strategy to speaking more fluently in English is one of my favorite topics to go over and something that we really dive deep into in my program. And that is overcoming your fear of judgment and your fear of making mistakes. So a very, very common situation that I'm speaking with my students a lot on is this idea of going in and speaking with other native English speakers and being nervous and your mind goes blank. You're sitting there in front of people and you just can't seem to form the words. You can't seem to draw the words to say in that situation. The nerves are too high, the stress is too high. Why is this happening? All right, this comes from a fear that's happening, a fear of judgment, a fear of making mistakes, a fear that the people that you're with are judging you. Because what I hear over and over again is that when you go and speak with other non-native English speakers, that fear is not there. Well, why not? Well, it's because you know that they're not judging you because they get it. They understand that English is hard. And you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. And it's not gonna sound like a native English speaker. It's not gonna have that, perfect polished sound that native speakers have. But as you're with other non-native English speakers, you don't feel their judgment. You don't feel that coming from them. They get it, okay? But then you go into a room with native English speakers, and the automatic thought, maybe not conscious, but the automatic thought is, they're judging me. They are going to notice all the errors that I'm making or mistakes I'm making, and they're going to judge me. I'm going to feel embarrassed. I'm going to say something wrong. They're going to laugh, or they're going to talk about me behind my back. There's this fear of judgment of what they're thinking of you. This fear is then keeping you from speaking fluently. And whether they're judging you or not, it doesn't really matter. What's happening in your brain is you are thinking they're going to judge you, or they think they are judging you, and your mind goes blank. You don't have the words because that judgment and that fear takes over. So what I want you to do is, in these situations, take a deep breath, and you have to remind yourself that you are safe, that there's nothing that's going to happen in this situation, even embarrassment or making mistakes. You can handle that. That's going to be okay. And that mistakes are part of the learning process. You have to speak up. You have to make mistakes in order to learn. The alternative is to stay quiet, to not use your voice, to not speak up, to not give that presentation. I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable to me. We need your voice. We need your thoughts. We need your ideas. If you are feeling too insecure or have that fear of judgment from others and stay quiet, we're all missing out. So for you to do the mindset training to be able to overcome those fears is incredibly important. It's okay to make mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you won't learn and you won't improve. Maybe think to yourself, they're not judging me, I'm judging me. And I don't want to judge myself anymore. I want to feel good about myself. I'm proud of myself for speaking, even though I might make mistakes. I'm proud of myself for learning English. I'm proud of myself for even just being in this situation where I get to speak English. I speak multiple languages. That's amazing. I'm brilliant. Okay, these are the thoughts that I want going through your head as you walk into a room with native English speakers, as you step into those conversations. That's going to bring power. That's going to bring incredible confidence even before you speak like a native English speaker. So that mindset is such a powerful tool for you in being able to speak English fluently. Okay, so the 3 secrets to speaking English fluently are slow down, focus on linking, and stand in your personal power through empowering thoughts. Now, if you want to learn more about how to speak American English like a native English speaker, check out my next video.